You dropped in atomic bomb of love, like my heart never knew. How quickly did it fade? How fast you went away when it wasn't about you.
We're fading out. Hey, everybody, welcome to Nash Talk. Now, this is a unique Nash Talk because I'm going to introduce her in a second, but I've got her name on the screen. If you look over here, where's that? Oh, right there. And I'm just really excited. I got to tell you why. It's the night before Thanksgiving, a holiday bar night, busiest bar night of the year, next to New Year's. And what's really cool is that I've been doing this for over a year as a DJ, as a songwriter, as just a lover of Nashville, the whole 9 yards. But I'm also from Motown, the Motor City. And I'm at one of the coolest places you can be the night before Thanksgiving, at one of the nicest, most popular restaurants where celebrities from the Eagles, Earth, Wind and Fire, Britney Spears, Frank.
Really?
Oh yeah, Britney Spears was sitting right over there.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. Even Miley Cyrus was here partying,
awesome.
partying like a crazy person. And so the celebrity tradition continues because I have with me, to my right, probably your left, Miss Jacki Daniels. Jacki, welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
No, this is great, man, and it's really cool because I haven't done this in about a few months. I took a break for a variety of reasons. And this is being recorded live on Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to have the AI slice and dice it and put it all over the place after Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere. So you're going to see it later if you want. And you're going to be able to also ask questions. If you don't see it live, you're going to see it later. And you can ask questions in real time tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, and she'll be able to see it and respond. Okay. And that means, by the way, if you look, I got it scrolling across the little ticker there. It's JackiDanielsShow.com. Okay, so if you want to find out more after or even during, you can do that. But stay close, look at us, pay attention, because I want to welcome. My name's Chris Anthony, and we are north of Detroit, the Motor City, about a good 20 miles, and we're in the suburb. We call it Metro Detroit. And we're going to have a really good time talking to this young lady right now. What time are you supposed to take stage today?
7:30-ish.
Okay, 7:30. So in Nashville, it is about 4:30, 4:26 to be exact. So if you are in the the Nashville mindset, we're about an hour ahead of that, even with the daylight savings. Didn't transfer. I think it just shifted. I don't know why they do it. It just makes it darker here. But anyway, if you hear people in the background, I do have the background reducer on. But what that is we are at a restaurant. It's a phenomenal restaurant. It's an Asian restaurant. They serve Chinese food, the best sushi chefs. The bartenders are out of. You know what? Before we jinx it.
Cheers.
She's got an old fashioned, and I know Lisa. I know some guys out there that know her. Lisa makes a killer old fashioned. What do you think?
What makes, and I'm kind of a snob when it comes to this. What makes this the best old fashioned is they didn't put a maraschino cherry in this. It's mixed perfectly. It's delicious.
So really? So
she did a great job.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell her that. Well, so let me. We've already introduced you. Now you are from Michigan, right?
Yes.
Originally. Ludington?
No, I have family in Ludington, and I spend a lot of time there when I can. So
I'm gonna be right and wrong on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. But no, I grew up in I was born in Royal Oak. I grew up in Sterling Heights. I went to Lansing. I've got family in Ludington, and I'm kind of in the Clawson area.
Uh-huh.
I'm in this area where we are.
Yeah.
And I love Michigan. Yeah.
So you were just in Nashville. In fact, somebody mentioned your name. In fact, he'll be here later today. He said, "Hey, you got to meet my friend Jacki Daniels," and she's just out of this world. You were performing in the city somewhere in Troy, right?
In Troy?
Or
yes. So yeah, I've been working with Firebird Tavern in Troy.
Oh, okay.
So they're a newer venue that we've been doing some live music there too.
So you're bringing the Nashville flavor now. Just to let you know that she's really authentic about it. You were just in Nashville, Tennessee, down in Music Row, and you were at Beard Records. Mm-hmm. I think it's Beard. I've recorded a song there as well, actually. And I always, the way you see it, BAIRD, like Beard, whatever. And I think they say Beard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beard Music Group. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great people. They just take your song and they just listen to you, and then they put a team of musicians on it. So what's well, before we go back to that, let's go back even further. So you've been writing and wanting to sing since you were a little kid, right?
Yeah, I've always been a singer. I've always been in the choirs and things like that, and I've always heard melodies in my head. I started writing songs when I picked up my guitar. When I picked up a guitar and kind of self-taught myself some chords, and that was like 17 years old probably. I started writing my own music and dabbling with other musicians that were interested in forming bands and stuff like that. So it's been a long time.
Wow. So you're self-taught. So you learned the chord progressions and the circle of fifths kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I was in orchestra, so I was first year violin in high school. I was a bit of a music nerd, I guess. I was I was choir president. I was first chair violin, and I was friends with all the band people.
Sure.
So picking up the guitar after learning the violin was actually easier than it would have been because I had already had the dexterity and to know how to kind of like use a stringed instrument. So that was really helpful.
Wow. Now we opened up with Moon Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did you write that? How'd you come up with that?
So that was a song that I wrote that was just kind of I was just fired up about like a relationship, like a breakup,
right.
And I kind of Taylor Swifted the situation, and it was just a song I wrote for me, just kind of like an angry but fun song, and I took it to another local musician who's also a producer, Louis Lee, and he just put such a fun spin on it. So it's one of my favorite songs because it's so fun, and it actually has more streams than any of my other songs right now. So that's kind of cool.
It's funny because I've been a DJ and I've worked with radio DJs and iHeart, Clear Channel, everywhere. And what we're automatically trained, and it's like one of those unwritten rules as a DJ, whether you're a club DJ, wedding DJ, radio DJ, is that you could take the best musicians, band, anything, and you listen to what you think that the audience is going to like, whether it's in their car, on the dance floor, or whatever. And when I was listening to all your songs, and I liked them, that one was the one I chose instantly. I don't spend.
Really?
It just within 2 seconds, I'm like, because that's all we have usually. Like 1, 2, oh, that one. And I go, I really like that. Like the title, like the way it just flowed. It was just very, it was very upbeat for what, I thought, just to start off the mood, holiday, Black Fridays in a couple days. Everybody's already shopping on Amazon or wherever. But I thought it's just a cool thing. And you know what? Everyone's just, they don't know why they're excited. They're just excited. It's one of those kind of traditional, vibrant things. And I thought, God, that's a cool song. And, I know that you've been in different competitions or you were in the Rising Star, right?
I was nominated for a independent music award in Nashville when I went down there. That's why I went down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Tell us about that experience.
So the Josie Music Awards, it's kind of like the Grammys of independent music in Nashville. So it's the biggest independent music award show, they say, in the world. There were over 70,000 submissions or something. So they have nominees, and they have so many categories. They have nominees from all over the world, all over in every state. And I submitted, and I was nominated for Rising Star of the Year. And the cool thing about the awards show is that it takes place at the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, I love just a whole gaggle of friends and family that wanted to come on the trip and that did come. So yeah, we went there. Yeah.
So I was reading really fast through your bio, and I apologize, but it was like there was something that happened that you said that, and I was supposed to ask you, or at least it kind of begged me to ask you the question. So what happened?
So the trip to Nashville was so much fun. It was just the highlight of my year, truly. I didn't win in my category, which I didn't like. I don't go in expecting. I already felt like I won something. But there was another girl that was nominated in another category, and her name was also Jacki Daniels.
Sure.
So when her category got called, and I knew it wasn't my category, they said, I think it was like a songwriter award or something. Sure. They said Jacki Daniels, and I got like 20 people in the first couple rows screaming their heads up, Jacki, go. I'm going, you guys, I don't think this is all right. So I walk up on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. I go right over to the host, and I just say, I don't think, I'm not sure, but I don't think this award's for me. So it was just me and the other Jacki Daniels up on the stage, and there's pictures of us just like trying to figure out what's going on. But
no kidding.
they were very like graceful about, getting me off the stage, but it was a really humbling, embarrassing, funny moment that I will never forget.
It's like a Steve Harvey moment.
It was. I was laughing. I don't.
Wow. Well, okay. Maybe I'm going to play stupid for a minute. So there was another Jacki Daniels there?
Yeah, she spells her name differently than I do, but.
Okay. Now, I asked you at the beginning. Now, that is your stage name, so to speak. Okay. Now, you don't have to give me your real name, whatever, whatever. That's fine. Because we all have, Elton John. I mean, it took me 20 years to figure out what his real name was. And not that I cared, but I think that's a great name. I really do.
Thank you.
And it fits you. It fits your face. It fits your voice. I think that's cool, And it's just you. Okay, because I'm from Detroit and played all the music. The only thing I tell everybody is that in the last couple of years I've been back and forth with radio DJs and country radio president and things like that. And you can't fake Nashville. You cannot fake it. No. I mean, like if I just said, "Hey, well, I'm Nash Talk and da 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 da," or blah blah blah, I'm doing a Nashville show. It would be a disservice because you have to go down there.
Yeah.
You have to listen to it. You have to play it. You got to at least record one song down there. You've got to feel the vibe. You into the Grand Ole Opry. You've been done a whole bunch of things down there, which I want to keep deep diving into a little bit more if I can. But I think that you're doing it right. Is what I wanted to say. I think you're doing it right. You're getting the best of both. And it's only an 8-hour car ride or an hour plane ride. So it's kind of, it's really convenient as opposed to driving to, let's say, LA or New York, Now, you did another song, and I'm just bouncing all over the place with Greg Stryker from Detroit. Do I have Greg Stryker?
Yes, we did a couple songs. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about that. I know we've got one song.
So Greg Stryker is a phenomenal songwriter. He has worked with Uncle Cracker. He's just got all kinds of stories throughout his time working and performing with other celebrities, but he works a lot with local singer-songwriters. So what he is a songwriter. He's like a song machine. And he came to me with This Girl, which is the first song that we wrote together. He came to me with that song and was like, I think you should sing it. And I was like, yeah, that song's about me. He knows. And we just kind of demoed it, worked it out, and then I took it to Nashville. And then most recently, there was another song that he came to me with right around the Moondragon time. That's really fun. And just a catchy, we had talked about, well, where do you want your music to go? I'm very good at writing sad, depressing love ballads, but that's not necessarily what I want to like put out as like my, my image or whatever. So he came to me with another fun song called Betcha Thinking About Me Now, and we recorded and released that out of Nashville. And Greg is just, he's just bless his heart. He's just a phenomenal songwriter. He's actually, he's fighting for his life right now. So we should all say a prayer.
Wow, okay, yeah.
So, but even despite all that, he's still, we're still meeting over Zoom and we're writing songs, and he's still in it. So he's co-writing with a lot of local Michigan musicians.
I think I saw something just yesterday, and he's on my Facebook, Gary Spagnola. And if anybody knows Gary Spagnola, he's like rock and roll local royalty, because Bittersweet Alley was a big band. They had a radio hit here in Detroit on all the majors. And I know he's still performing. I think he lives down in Writing. I think he's in Arizona, but he was mentioning Craig Stryker.
Yeah, I mean, everyone. I mean, he's a good guy to know because, like I said, so many of my closest musician friends have co-written with him, and then you have this also connection, you know, to just hearing his stories. I mean, you should really interview him.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I just had Larry Frantagini, and he played with everybody. I think I said his name wrong.
Yeah.
But he'll be in here tonight. He actually plays with Kid Rock.
That's cool.
And he played with a whole bunch of other people.
Same with Greg.
Yeah, Alice Cooper and all these people, right? So yeah, I meet rock and roll royalty in here all the time, and people past, present, people that play with Seeger and everybody else. So that's cool. You're in the right river of flow. I mean, the music that you're putting out, and because I think that the more hype and the more exposure that you get is really well deserved, because I listen to it and I'm going, wow. I mean, sometimes I'll listen to it. I've seen enough writer rounds in Nashville, at the Bluebird, countless places, and of course the NSAI, the National Songwriting Association, and I just go, when I heard the songs, I'm like, man, these would, sometimes you'll sit there and it's like chalk, your fingers on a chalkboard, and when I hear yours, it's like, wow, there's just that purity of your voice.
Thank you.
You've got the nice pitch, you got the great range. It's
Thank you.
It's very, I mean, I could listen. I was actually working out last night, and I was listening to them in my earbuds. Yeah, and it was cool.
That's a great compliment.
And I usually like listen to like maybe 20, 30 seconds of a song, maybe and I listen to the entire song.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's why I said, that's why, Moondragon, I'm going, I got to put that one on. And it was actually hard for me because I knew that you had these other songs. That's why I've got the video lined up of the one video.
For Growing Pain,
Pains.
yeah.
Right, Growing Pain. And so I keep thinking of the TV show Growing Pains. So
yeah.
Right. But let's see, what else can I ask you before I show the video? So besides singing, what instruments are you seasoned in?
I don't consider myself like an instrumentalist by any means. I learned the guitar so that I could have something to sing to. So when I play guitar, I don't claim to be amazing by any means. I know chords, I can play. I can do solo shows. I do a lot of solo shows, but I always joke I can kind of play any instrument. Like I can, after so many years, I can sort of play the violin. I can sort of play the fiddle. I can sort of play the piano. I can sort of play the drums if I've had a couple drinks. But I love singing.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's really where the instruments come in.
Yeah, no, that's great. Violin's got to be handy down in Nashville. I love violin.
Is this a question?
Yeah, it's a question.
Oh.
What's some other music that she likes that people wouldn't know that she likes?
Okay. So, Vinny, hello. So that's a really good question because I consider myself a pop country artist, but I was not always into country. In fact, I only got into country music like 6 or 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The first band that I was in out of high school was a progressive rock band. So heavy stuff. And all the guys were like metalheads, like just heavy. I love all kinds of music. I love classic rock. I do a lot of, when I do solo shows like tonight, like I do a lot of not country music. I do classic rock. I love music from all the decades. I love the jazz standards. I love, he said, what are some bands or what's some music? There's really, truly no music that I dislike besides like screaming death metal. Do you like electronic music? Yeah. So I was actually in an electronic pop duo, and we have music out. It's called Wonderbox. There's some music out there on Spotify now that when I was in this electronic pop duo called Wonderbox. So if you like that, that's
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I love all kinds of music. I don't discriminate. And right now I'm on the pop country path, but I still feel like it's all very influenced by different things.
That's the best part of somebody like you, because you are versatile. You're not just stuck in one cage. I think that's awesome because in Detroit, we are the electronic capital. And there's a lot of money to be made in it. Some of the top DJs I've ever met are, they're crushing it right now, electronic. So yeah, you got to think about it. Lend your voice to that. That's pretty cool.
I've done collaborations with DJs where I fill in for their mixes and I sing and I write parts. I mean, I'm into all of it. I'm into collaborating too. I really am.
Well, there's a guy up there, Gregory Baltoff, known as Mr. Positive. I know he's friends with Tim Roberts, who's the president of CBS Country Music. So, Greg, Mr. Positive, do me a favor. Tell Timmy about her. Okay, so maybe that'll get her to where she needs to be. Yeah, it's pretty cool. What was I going to say to you? Oh, I know. I was going to shift for a second because I know you sent me some information, but what you didn't send me was something I saw pop up on my Facebook feed yesterday. Yes, that's how I find stuff. And you were really passionate, and I didn't get to see all of it because I was in the middle of stuff. But let me, if I can, and you can stop me if I can't, because it's nothing to do with music. It has to do with you're involved with adoption.
Yeah.
Can I talk about that? Is that
sure?
Is that
Yeah.
okay? Okay,
Yeah.
We'll keep it professional.
Yeah.
So because you really seem just really really into that, and that seems to be another goal of yours. You're trained in that. I mean, like I said, I was reading really fast, so help me with this a little bit. Like you've got a master's or something like that in a background.
Yeah.
So tell us about that a little bit. You're helping families. You vet families to get together. And adopt children.
I have a master's in social work. So I worked in foster care out of my undergrad for some years, and then I worked in schools for a number of years, and now I'm a therapist, and I've also been working contractually. Everything's contractual. I'm my own boss. It's amazing.
Wow.
I'm actually my own boss now. That was like one of the things I wanted for myself. But so I'm a therapist, and then I work for an adoption agency, and I've been working there for almost 10 years. And it's just a kind of like a side job, right? You don't get private adoption is a very niche department, so you don't get a ton of hours like where I'm working. But
right.
But yeah, I work in domestic and international adoptions.
Oh, okay. So technically, you're kind of ahead of the game in that department. Not taking away what you're doing, the importance of that, but also the fact that you're not relying heavily on music to survive like they do in Nashville. I know that's all they do. And I think, I don't know what your base pay is or anything like that, but if you're doing it voluntarily or anything like that, but it seems like it's another area that, so you've got kind of that you're wearing many hats.
I've always had 3 or more jobs at any point, because doing the 9 to 5, I worked in schools for years, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, but I couldn't pursue my music career. I couldn't tour around the country like I do now, having a 9 to 5. So I had to create this life for myself where my schedule is flexible. I schedule when I want to work, I schedule clients. And so that's why I'm at a point right now where actually music is my main source of income, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there you go. Well, I get it. I'm a DJ and a songwriter, and I made more money with the DJ aspect of it, so I get it. That was part of my ambition when I went to Nashville. I said, I can get around with these people, be the best songwriter in the world, but there's no guarantees with anybody. But I thought, what if I could use today's technology and the biggest social media platforms on the world to record it? And so, maybe a week from now, a month from now, people will see it. And I love the fact that I've become friends with every single person that I've interviewed, and they've went off to actually excel from that point forward. And that's what I wish for you. Because in that environment, in the music environment, whether you're a DJ anywhere or singer-songwriter anywhere, it's usually the me, but that was another reason, like I said, you doing that. And then you feel like, God, this person's really bringing some value to the planet.
I appreciate that. I'm really, even when it comes to music, though, I'm really not a me person. I started this Jacki Daniels show. That's my website. But the Jacki Daniels show started originally as a showcase for me to highlight other artists.
Oh, really?
And feature other artists in our area.
Not know that.
And I've done these, Nashville style singer-songwriter rounds quite a bit with my friend Julia, but I don't think that I'm Like, I don't come from that place where I'm like, me, I'm better than anyone. There's so much talent, even in the state of Michigan, that I'm like, no. I think the better move is to be collaborative, to be nice to everybody. I don't know.
I think you're right in it, because that's one thing about Nashville that I did learn, and you learn little things that are subtle but yet very impactful. Like, I thought, okay, I got some good songs here. I know music and I can do this and that. But I guess, and then you see all these people that play night after night after night that are really, really good, and some of the lyrics are really good, and then it's like, wow, you really have to find a way to not cut anybody off in line, but you have to find your own niche to get the exposure.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure,
so
go ahead.
You obviously, this is called Nash Talk, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you're going and you're planning on going to Nashville. So I feel like we could have a whole hour of conversation just about Nashville. Oh, nice. Yeah. Very cool.
Actually, they own the Bluebird Cafe.
Okay.
And that TV show Nashville 10 years ago. Yeah, that was based on this.
I was supposed to go to the Bluebird because I met someone here at the Tin Roof in Detroit that was like, my friend's running the singer circle at the Bluebird. When you're going to be there, and I didn't end up going.
Who's that?
I can't even remember. It was literally like
a guy or girl.
It was a guy, and he was running the Bluebird on Mondays. One of the guys.
Oh, I think I know. I interviewed him. Was an older guy? Was he an older guy or no? Younger?
I'll let you know. But my whole point to this is like, so I just want to like interject and just say this really quick.
Go ahead. This is your show.
Because I'm very interested in how the Nashville scene compares to Michigan. I personally would never ever move to Nashville.
It's hard. It's hard.
That's not for me.
Yeah, I get it.
But I love what it has to offer as far as like this award shows and like different opportunities to sing, and like obviously the studio there I love. But before I went to Nashville this last time, I joined a bunch of singer-songwriter pages in Nashville, and I was asking a lot of questions about, is there any chance I can sing while I'm there, blah, blah. I mean, people were offended that I would even ask. It's so oversaturated with singer-songwriters. And so I personally feel like, this is just me bragging on Michigan right now.
Go ahead.
I feel like the Metro Detroit music scene is in some ways better than Nashville.
It has opportunity.
Because people are more face-to-face interaction. People are coming to your shows that want to hear you play, not just because they want to also play.
Right.
People are collaborative. They're working together. They're booking shows together. And maybe that's because there's so many different genres of music in Detroit too.
Oh yeah.
You go to Nashville, it's like country or rock.
Yeah,
right?
country or rock, or 70s, 80s if you're playing on Broadway.
But I love Nashville. I'm going to go every year. Like, I'm straight up going to go every year and continue to record there. But I'm just interested, like, what is your like goal with your work with Nashville?
You know what? Okay. I'm gonna have to part this out as fast as I can. You're absolutely right. There's pluses and minuses to everything that you just described, because it took me years to figure that out. In fact, when I used to go there years ago, I don't think anything of like ever wanting to live there. I was a New York, LA, or Florida guy. Take your pick. Chicago was kind of the, like a DJ addendum to Detroit. But I tell you what, the one thing, like when I go back to Nashville, I lived right a few miles from downtown, and I was downtown all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The guys knew everybody.
Like Broadway?
Right, Broadway. In fact, we even started a show down there within a week, and they there was people that tried to copy it, and then they took it over, and then they decimated it. In fact, the restaurant went under, and we packed it. And so you're right. There's a lot of cutthroat there. They say there's a lot of genuine good people, but the people I met live outside of Nashville, like 20 miles.
There's a difference, for
right?
sure.
Yeah, and they're doing writer rounds like in Springfield and Hendersonville, Franklin, and they surround. Here's Nashville, and then there's a circle, and if you go like 10, 20 plus miles in that direction, they treat those cities are they pretty much label themselves Nashville. It's like, I mean,
it is though, and to me, I like the outskirts better.
Yeah,
I really do.
That's what I miss. I don't miss the parking that they just imposed. I don't miss the fact that these kids who are out of high school or whatever, and they're playing on Broadway.
I know.
And I'm going to get killed for saying this. You know,
It's okay. I know exactly what you're talking
but
about.
I think that my goal, and I'll get to it in a second, is to extrapolate the pulp of the, you know, of the juice and say, well, like, for example, there's singer-songwriter rounds. My buddy that I used to work with many years here,
Yeah.
Matt Casilla, he has a singer-songwriter round.
Oh, we love. No, I know Singers in the Round. I hosted that show.
Yeah,
a couple
yeah, yeah,
times.
yeah.
We love
So-
you, Matt. We
Yeah.
love you, York.
We used to do karaoke here for 3 years, every
Yeah.
single week. In fact, I even on New Year's or on New Year's, Thanksgiving, you know, Eve. And they've been trying to do that. But what you find is that as powerful and as large as Detroit and Metro Detroit is, they're trying to copy the formula of Nashville versus nobody in Nashville is trying to copy Detroit. Does that make sense to you? I mean, we have Motown, we got classic rock, we got the Eagles, we got Bob Seger, Van Halen, or did I say Van Halen? Not Van Halen. Kid Rock, Jack Black. But Kid Rock and Jack Black are in Nashville. And, you know, Bob Seger's basically retired almost. But I think that if you can take the best of two
Yeah.
and figure out how to make,
Mhm.
my goal is to figure out how to get audiences for you and you and you and not put them on Spotify. I'm not against the technology, but I want you not to have 1 million likes and make $15. I want you to have
That
a
would
million.
be great.
I want you to have 1 million followers. And
I
make it-
always joke, go stream my music. I might make a fraction of a penny.
right.
It's bad in music right now. It's bad.
And I'm a tech savvy. I'm like a tech savvy guy, and like I said, I've worked with radio and I've worked with Billboard magazine, and I've worked with all of it. And I know that there's a better way of doing this. That's my goal. That's my thought process. I think that if I can get somebody to have their own, instead of superstar, because there's only a little bit of room on that stage. There's, you know, 1 million people, but there's like, you know, Lainey Wilson, Carrie Underwood, you know, Dolly Parton, and I want to hear the Dolly Parton story, and because he's singing her mic, right? And yeah, I remember. Aren't you impressed? Just kidding. But I think that there's room for every single artist out there, whether they're in the basement or bedroom on, you know, a DAW. You know, DAW means digital audio workstation. That means it's a synthesized version of a full-size studio that you go to. You pay, you know, $100 an hour to make one song. And I think no matter how you make the song, it's the quality of the song. And if people like it and you get 1 million people to like it and pay you directly, then you're set for life. Versus trying to get in that long line of hope that maybe if I play 5,000 writer rounds for like year after year after year after year, and then maybe one day I'll get it, and then all these songs that people heard on the radio or on the internet 1,500 times, they're not going to get to that level. And I think, and that's why I said I'll probably get killed for that. But it isn't. It's a compliment to the artist. I've heard some of the worst music become a one-hit wonder, okay, and make that person a superstar for life. I mean, I can tell you a lot of one-hit wonders, that one song, and for Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby.
I know every word of that song.
And that wasn't even, that was a sample.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? And he hated that success. He was like, because, you know, oh, Ice Ice Baby, stop what you're doing.
Didn't he get sued
or
for
not.
that?
I
Or
don't
they
think,
tried to sue him because he stole the
Yeah.
he stole the lick. He stole the bass line.
I was singing the wrong song. I was singing the Humpy Dance. I meant to say A1A Beachfront Avenue, you know, and he hated it, but then he embraced it years later because that, you know, to be recognized everywhere you go years later for one song, that's a dream for most people. For one, you know, and how many people are actually going to have the opportunity anywhere, Detroit, Nashville, anywhere, to have that one song, and live off of it. And then, you know, even it's like even the best bands, and they would sell albums, CDs, they get like 2 or 3 songs. Journey, right? Any Way You Want It.
No, Journey has so many hits. Don't even come at
They
me about
do,
Journey.
but if you have 10 songs on an album, only 2 or 3 are going to get radio play. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the
but
rest are-
don't you think right now the age of the one hit wonder is gone?
Well, it's converted. I'll tell you what happened. It morphed into no longer is an album significant like we think. It's, you know, even if you have the 7, 8, 9 song on your album, you may love it, but the audience may not like it.
Yeah.
Where now it's the era of singles.
It is the era of singles.
That's what I'm saying.
And part of that is because people don't have the attention span right now to listen to a whole album. So we have to, unfortunately, as artists, put out singles once. So I put out an EP, right? But before that, I was just doing and a lot of people are doing this, a single a month, because you're keeping people's attention that way, because people have such short attention.
Right.
But the real music lovers will listen to your music.
Sure. I guess, knowing, and I've been in all areas of the spectrum of both sides, whether I wanted to or not, because I'm an Ableton user. I'm a seasoned Ableton. I work with some of the best producers in Ableton. And the DJs that use it, Calvin Harris, Dave Guetta, Chainsmokers, they make more than any country artist. They're worth $100 million plus a year, So it's like, God, I should just synthesize, and it's all synthesized music. Any instrument you can synthesize. I can even sing into it, da da da, and hit a violin. And where in Nashville, it just seems to be you got to have a cowboy hat, the cowboy boots, and then you got to have the guitar.
That's not real country music, though. Some people will argue with you about what is country music. It's evolved so much.
It has, but then they make fun of Jelly Roll because they think he's a rapper. They think Morgan Wallen's just
I think he's great. I saw Jelly Roll a number of times,
phenomenal.
And I think he's freaking great.
You know what? It's nice that people aren't coming up to me and asking me for Waylon Jennings, no disrespect, but they want to hear, I need a favor. Or something like that from Jelly Roll versus.
To me, his songs are no different than
any
other country going on right now. So if it's, I don't know, I don't even know.
Yeah, the river of music is never going to stop, and it's always it's not going to be the same water twice, even though we see it as, just one thing. There's this clear liquid going through, and it's not. It's something that's gone through cycles and things, and that's what music is, and that's exactly because I love music. I get paid a lot of money just to play it, and then I push a button where I see these people up there that I become friends with, and they're playing 4-hour sets for tips, or a $400 chunk of music, and they're making millions of dollars from that shit. That city makes over $30 million a day. And Detroit doesn't even do that.
And I think that after this last trip that I was like, well, at least 1 million of that 30.
Right. Yeah.
We had a crazy good time.
It's crazy. I mean, and Nashville's a great party town, and it's fun, and it's all the above. Bachelor capital of the world, or whatever you want to call it. But I think, like I said, my as I get older, and I look back, I go, you know what? I take this a little bit more seriously. And I go, at the very least, if I can take you, and then, you can always look back and go, God, I like the fact that I don't want to do a 7-minute interview like they do on a TV show. You get 7 minutes, at 7:30 in the morning on a talk show, or, and then only a handful of people see it. They go, I want it to be like, okay, tomorrow, like I'll have 30, 40 views. Then by tonight, it'll be 400 or 500 views. And that doesn't include what is on yours.
That's cool.
So it's exponential. So you got this, I got you. And then what happens is hopefully that you can go, this is what my music is. This is who I am. Because one thing that's true with the formula of Nashville, and they told me this a million times, even the best country radio DJs from iHeart, because one of them is one of my best friends. And he was a big DJ in Detroit for years. He said to me, because Chris, one thing I know is that you have to have story with your song.
I got stories every song.
There you go.
Got a story,
right.
Sure.
And that's what I like about your music.
That's a good way to put it, because people are writing a lot of songs just because they think that's what they should do, but it has no substance or meaning to it.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are singing about just booze all the time, or their drugs or whatever. It's the cliche with country, but to your point, I think it's really good what you're doing, because right now we're in the day and age where a lot of people think that you have to just lean into social media to be successful at all. I've never felt that. I've always felt successful playing shows in front of real people, making real life connections. That's what you're doing with your show. You're making real connections with people. It's a network.
Yeah, it is a
network.
It is, and it shows at the very least without me even trying, because there's nothing to do with me being humble or anything. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm pushing this. I'm just another, element of whoever's out there, whether it's Rolling Stone or country, whatever, and saying, here's an opportunity that some people may or may not get. Because I've had people that have been the very first guy I interviewed in Nashville, Richie Nori. I just saw him here in Detroit playing at the Andiamo Award. He's played with Earth, Wind & Fire, Toto, Yeah, exactly. And now he plays with, he owns the band called The Sweet, and they had a major bunch of hits back in
That's
the
so
70s.
cool.
So, and he's played with Rick Derringer, Richie Sambora,
Yeah.
and you know what? Now he's one of my best friends. And I met him a year and a half ago in Nashville, the day I got there. And that goes with a lot of guys down there and girls. And I don't discriminate. In fact, a girl I met here 3 years ago on Halloween, Hannah, the Nike. We were hanging out all night long, and 2 years later, we saw each other in Nashville last year, and now we're friends. And she sings at Kid Rock, Honky Tonk, all of them. Stage.
That's great.
So it's a great networking thing. And now, like I said, I didn't want to just get anybody without heart. That's why I took a break. And this is the first time.
Yeah, because since June or something.
Yeah, and I said, you know, I need. Like you said, substance is a great word. It's one of my favorite words to describe what's in your heart. It's got soul. It's got really good content. And I feel like this is a good one. This is a good one. I mean, this is like, I'll be honest with you. It's like if Taylor Swift was sitting here, I would be the same. No, it'd be the same thing. It could be Kelly. It could be any of them. Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
You know, so I think and I feel that, you know, this was great. I think you're on the cusp of something that, you know, in the near future, something could really big happen to you.
Oh, that's so nice.
And I've said with a lot of famous people, even before doing this, you know, they don't have what it takes. They're not going to last long. And a lot of them haven't. When I sat with Lenny Kravitz 30 years ago.
Stop.
In Royal Oak, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And he was only supposed to be there for an hour.
I'm going to do a Lenny Kravitz song tonight.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Fly Away.
Ooh,
Yeah.
He's one of the coolest guys. He could speak fluent Italian. And
Really?
Oh my God, he's just amazing.
Gosh.
And he didn't want it. He was supposed to. He was playing at Pine Knob. Every time I've seen him there, he's sold out. And the thing, he always tries to make it to the hill, and he can't even make it to past the sixth row. They mob him, right? But anyway, I remember he could have left to do a sound check, and he just kept. Every time he kept trying to leave, people kept talking. He would just sit down and start talking to him. I mean, I love the guy. I had a bromance with that guy.
Oh my God! My roommate has a huge crush on Lenny Kravitz. She's gonna love to hear this.
Yeah,
She's gonna be like, "Tell me everything."
He's the bomb.
Yeah,
Lenny,
that's
you
cool.
deserve your success.
That's
He's not a prima donna. He's the real deal. And I've seen people, even in here, I'm not saying names, that well, actually, I did say one name that she wasn't very well behaved. And if you want to review the tape, I'll let you pick.
She's better now.
She's better now. Yeah, she is better. Actually, she won Song of the Year last year.
I love her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a song by her too.
Oh yeah. So, so I do wish you success. I wish you happiness. I mean, and like I said, we're going to slice and dice this and put it out there. And my goal, my mission is to make this bigger and better. And I've had some of the best people, go, yeah, this is cool. This is cool.
Great.
So, you know what? And I've seen the people that we've done, and I'm glad I didn't do some of the people that I just felt really like, I shouldn't say that. They don't know.
You gotta go with your heart and your gut.
It's experience, and it's life.
Mm-hmm.
It's being older, and I try to pass on that. So when I'm telling your story, it's about your music, how you started, the good, the bad, the ugly, the funny moments. Speaking of funny moments, and I want to play a video really quick before, because I want to make sure I say everything and ask everything we can do. If they also tell about the mobile kind of thing. Oh yeah. So she should be a co-host. She should be. You know what? In fact, that would be kind of cool, because I know what Matt has been doing, and I love him. And York and those guys.
He got me this gig here tonight.
Oh, did he really? Yeah. Well, Matt, if you're around, I love you. I just saw him here a couple weeks ago.
I love Matt so much.
Yeah.
He just has such a special friendship.
And I'm willing you positive vibes for you. I am. So let me play a song really quick. Let me show the video to you. Here, can you play this? Can you show this? Yeah, we're gonna look into this one. Now they can hear it better than this.
The mic is still on then when it's playing.
Sure.
Is it?
He's tired, and he don't feel like himself. $100 to his name, empty battles on his ship. He's strong, but he might need some help. No one tells you how the bright light is on the other side of hell. He's been trying to make sense of how things got this way. It's hard enough to leave behind a past that wants to stay. When it feels like the whole world is giving up on you, and your heart won't.
All right. Well, we just gave you a sample of that, and so that was the first and only video you've done so far. And you were telling me while the music was playing that it was at your boyfriend's bar. You said,
Yeah, my ex's.
your ex-boyfriend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
We were trying to whisper while.
No,
I was
it's at a local diner. Yeah, we cleared out the space,
I love
and the videographer came in and did his cool thing with lighting. I think it turned out cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's black and white. I think it's great. So yeah, I think there's more things coming and more video coming. And have you worked with anybody in the video department around here to make videos? Or?
Yeah, quite a bit. So the man who did that video, his name's Ryan Archibald. He's worked with Alan Turner, who's someone that Alan Turner's like the reason that I even have a music career.
I wanted to talk about him.
Yeah, so Alan Turner, I joined his band as the backup singer years ago.
Kenny Rogers.
He's now doing a Kenny Rogers thing that we travel around with. It's so fun.
Right.
We're literally like all over the whole country in sold out theaters. It's so awesome. But before that, it was Alan Turner and the Steel Horse Band, and I joined as the backup singer like 7 years ago. But before that, when I couldn't join the band because I had a full-time job, he asked me to be like the star of one of his music videos, and that was the same producer director of my music video, Ryan. And so there's this song called Tennessee Twister, and to this day it's one of my favorite things I've ever done. I look so cool in this video, but it's Tennessee Twister by Alan Turner. I'm gonna play that song tonight too.
Yeah, you should. No, just go. Do your thing. Do your thing, girl. Own it. Just here, because there are, there's some people in here. You never know. There's people here, and just play. I know you want to play to the crowd. That's fun. I don't want to see a 25-year-old kid playing "We Will Rock You." You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing.
You don't even know that song.
Yeah, you weren't even born.
No, I only play songs I want to play.
Yeah, play what you want.
I'm not playing anything I don't want.
Here. That's why you're here. Like even Matt. I mean, one thing about Matt, when we did even when I did a karaoke, he would do his own renditions of the covers. Yeah. Like Georgia, Georgia. I mean, I just used to sit there and we were kind of put together here on the patio years ago.
Yeah.
About 15 years ago, and I'm sitting there going, why am I with this guy? And then him and I just clicked, and I consider him a brother. And in this place, my family, but I wish the same for you, because when you get into that mode, I'm the crazy idea guy, and I know that it's going to hopefully help and catapult people, because I don't need the success everyone has or wants to have, because I think the real success in this business is getting a family of people that will support you financially. They'll come to they'll buy your merchandise. They'll pay $5 or more to see you, as opposed to walking in, hopping downtown somewhere. And they want to go, wow, that's Jacki. Yeah, I want to, whatever. And you know what? That's something that, like you said, you love doing that job in the schools, but it didn't allow you the freedom to do what you really wanted to do.
Well, to your point, so as far as like success is measured, I think it can be really dangerous as someone in the public eye trying to be on the stage to get wrapped up in how many likes, how many followers you have, how many people are in the audience. Like you can really like go down a bad path with that. I've always tried to have a mentality of, well, I am doing exactly what I want to do, and I am still helping others because that's a passion of mine too, with music and with other things. And how do you define success? For me, I already feel successful because I have shows. There might be a couple little kids that come up and they're just enamored, and I'm like, I made it. That's it. I'm famous. I don't care.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you define success? And like, for me, I'm just doing my thing.
Sure.
If you start to do things because you want a bigger response, or you think that's what people want, but it's not what you want, I think that's bad.
I agree. I think that, I think the way you balance that in a good way, it keeps you grounded enough. And I think I think you put it out in your music where, like I said, when I was listening to it, I was like, this is good stuff. It's really good. It's like if I bought an album and I started playing this in my car, my stereo, I'd be like, wow, sounds old when I say stereo or Bluetooth, whatever. And and it was like, wow, this is really done well. Because I've talked to people, like when I was talking to Nate, I didn't even interview him, but when we came out, he's playing guitar, but he couldn't play a whole song. He could hit some cool riffs, and then he couldn't finish the whole song. And I go, you got to keep singing, brother. And now he had to learn the whole band catalog in 2 weeks, and because the original singer got sick. So what opportunities? I said that to him. I go, chance favors the prepared.
Yeah.
It really does. I said, you may not know it, but make sure the batteries in your flashlight are fresh because storm's coming.
Yeah.
And you want to be ready, right? That's everything. It's everything. Keep your phone charged. Keep your mind. And you got a good head on your shoulders. That's what really.
Some people don't think so.
You know what? Well, I don't know you well enough, but from what you presented to me, you've done a good job of presenting.
I don't know if I have a good head on my shoulders, but I have a good heart, and I try to follow that.
Wow, that's hard to find too. Good hearts are hard to find, man. There's got to be a song title in this.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
heart is hard to find. Yeah. Oh, we'll have to write one day. But anyway, yeah, as long as you make it, I'm happy for you. So the Alan Turner tribute. I know you've been all over Connecticut, on the East Coast, and you're out, different places. Where would you say? Let me just throw some fluff at you. Where would you say your favorite places besides Detroit, Nashville, were to play or perform? You said you had some sold out shows with the tribute band and whatnot.
You're not the first person to ask me that question, and I honestly don't. I don't know.
There's no right or wrong answer.
My favorite places to play, my favorite venues. It's just like I have such a bad memory. So I have a memory of singing to a sold out theater, but I don't remember where it was.
Oh, wow. Really?
Some of my favorite shows, though, is when we go to like Florida. Because we get to have like a little bit of vacation, maybe a little pool time with the band.
I was going to say, there has to be a pool outside, right?
But
except during hurricane.
I don't know. To me, and it doesn't even matter if it's like a sold out venue. Like when people are there that genuinely seem interested and are genuinely like plugged into what you're doing, and you're not just playing a bar repeat your background music, those are my favorite kinds of shows.
What do you see yourself in 5 years? You're still young.
5 years. I don't feel young.
10 years.
I don't feel young.
Well,
I
compared
just
to me,
turned 35.
Oh.
I know, but
back.
no, and I don't feel like old either. But I think the next 5 years for me, for my music career, is going to be very important, because I think if in the next 5 years, I just want to see where it goes.
Sure.
Like I said, I already feel like I've had so much success. I've had radio play. I'm on the Duke boxes everywhere. I mean, that's in itself is so cool. I'm going to continue with the Kenny Rogers show that, we've been doing. That's like my main thing. And then just putting out and writing more and more music. Lots more music videos. Yeah, I don't know.
Kenny Rogers. I got to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers. Okay, I'm thinking about this. My buddy who's a radio DJ for iHeart, country radio guy. His name was Michael J. He was actually good friends with Kenny up until he died.
Cool.
And I love Lionel Richie, and I know their relationship.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot about Kenny Rogers.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think is what's your favorite song of Kenny Rogers?
I don't. Maybe Buy Me a Rose.
Oh, really?
That song always just gets me like choked up. But no, Alan Turner, who does the Kenny Rogers tribute, he did also know Kenny Rogers and had a friendship with him, and he looks and sounds just like him.
Oh, really?
I do the backup parts and then the duets. So I emulate like Dolly Parton, Sheena Easton. I do the duet.
We Got Tonight, yeah.
So
so you do so you do We Got Tonight. What's the other one?
Yeah.
Islands in the Stream.
Islands in the Stream.
That's, I know the history of all those songs. I know Robin. One of the Gibb brothers. Who's the main Gibb? Barry Gibb wrote that song.
Okay.
From the Bee Gees.
Okay.
And I my favorite song. I shouldn't say Through the Years is a big one, but
Through the Years we do. Yeah.
Crazy. Richie Marx wrote it.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Crazy.
Hi, Sally. Yeah.
She lost her husband because she was actually my son's teacher, but she actually got to meet a plethora of major stars for years. Her husband was in the record in the music business big time, Rodney, right? And and there's some really cool stuff about what you're telling me, because I think you're on the trajectory of the right people to get to a higher place fast.
What I love about I love Alan Turner. I mean, you'll meet him tonight. He's coming.
Okay. I can't wait.
He has just paved the way for a music career. But even with the Kenny Rogers shows that we're doing, we're traveling all around the country, and I still feel like my music is being showcased because I do these solos, these duets, and people ask about my music, and then we talk after the show. So I feel like I am getting kind of like exposure in other areas.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Right now we're at 120.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, see, that's just one of the three. So this one time I was on there and I thought nobody was watching. 27 people watching me, and it's like zero.
I think if one person's watching.
Yeah, no. It's that's the one thing about the software. It's kind of weird, but anyway, that's why I have to look on my phone. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I go, "Where is everybody at?" And I'm like, I'm looking. I'm like, "Oh no, never mind." In fact, hold on, let me check real quick. Cause in fact, there'll be some shares right there too.
Cool, very cool.
See, this is for you. This is the Jacki.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Daniels. This ain't the Chris Anthony show. No, but I'm nobody. All right. I mean,
the Jacki Daniels show takeover.
Yeah, Nash Talk right here in Detroit. It's kind of a great thing. Because I think Music Row and Motown are really synonymous with each other. They really are, because they'll play Motown at all the country bars. You'll hear it. Like you'll hear it
in Nashville.
Oh yeah, I've heard. I'm gonna hear "Listen, Baby." Ain't no mountain high. You'll hear.
Okay, maybe, but I didn't hear.
Oh, you'll hear Stevie Wonder. You'll hear rock and roll versions of Sleepy Station.
I'm just like protective of my Detroit people. I'm like you lived where?
In Nashville.
So you probably have a better idea.
Well, because here's the thing, because I don't know how long you went there for.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I went there for like weekends and then like a week.
Right.
And I thought, I know everything. You got to go there for months at a time.
I don't want to do that.
But that's where you pick. No, because then you're sitting there going, wait a minute, that's the Temptations. I'm like, what? You get where I'm going?
Yeah.
And I was like blown away, and I would hear Eminem at the clubs. Like at Jason Aldean.
So what you're saying is Detroit is having an influence on Nashville.
It's trying.
So that is very important and pivotal to me, because Motown came from Detroit. Eminem came from Detroit.
I know that.
But now they're over in Nashville,
right? Showing
them what's up.
He wasn't even born in Detroit. You know that?
Well, not Detroit. He was born in Michigan.
No, Missouri.
Oh, Eminem?
Yeah.
Well, who cares? But he
made
a name for himself here, though.
Yeah, that's how he ended up because his mom could only afford to live in April.
Okay.
That's why in Detroit.
Okay. Well, I still consider him authentically.
Oh no, he loves Detroit.
Yeah.
He's more Detroit than Kid Rock.
I agree.
Look at the Michigan train station. And guess who we had there? Jelly Roll.
Guess what? Yeah. Guess who worked at that event?
You did.
I did.
Wait, did you really?
I was.
So, you know, I
working
got
at an
pictures of the Michigan train station for years. I'm standing next to it because there's a great tamale place right behind it, right on.
Yeah.
Because I got married at that church behind it, St.
event.
Anthony. And but anyway, there was a place, and I used to see that building. And they go, yeah, that's the haunted house. That's the biggest. They call it the world's biggest crack house. You know, and they said, yeah, we should tear it down. And they're doing that with the Renaissance Center right now. They
Yeah.
want to tear that. I'm like, no, that's Detroit, right?
No, Eminem was pretty much running the whole Grand Station opening. Like he hosted the event, and I work for a talent agency, and they hired me to go in and work the event.
What's telling me?
So Productions Plus.
They're great off the
So-
Telegraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's out there.
basically I went in and I couldn't pretend like I was working. So I was basically like shuffling all these rich people, like the governor, like tour seat and stuff. And but I was front row, right, of all the shows, and I was side stage of Diana Ross. And I was just like, this is cool that I'm this close. I get to witness it, right?
80 years old, Diana Ross. Give me an opinion on that.
Oh my God. No way. Is she really?
80.
I would not believe that. I didn't know that, but when I saw her, I was like, she's got it going on. She was like one of the best performers of the night.
Wow. And Jack White was there even?
Jack White people were going ape shit for Jack White.
Can I tell you? Well, he's in Nashville now, but there's a true story behind the train station. It was like a dome, like an igloo.
Yeah.
That was his house behind it.
Okay.
And next to the tamale place. And then he gave it to his brother, and then some big developer just bought it.
Yeah.
Because they know now that whole neighborhood, that
Yeah.
old Detroit neighborhood,
Mhm.
is now going to boom.
Mhm.
Because for years it was just horrible, off the chart. I know we're going off the path here with Jacki, but she's Miss Detroit. Look at her, Jacki. I'll call you Jacki Detroit.
That's fine.
That would be a cool name, Jacki Detroit. Nah, keep it with Daniels for now. I think that's good. So how'd you come up with that, real quick?
So Jacki Daniels, well, is not my real legal name, but when I was, let's just put it this way, the first time I ever consumed alcohol, it was Jack Daniels. Let's go with that.
Okay.
And someone was like, you're like Jacki Daniels. And from that, I mean, I was very young. From that point on, my entire life, people have
Oh yeah. No,
have
don't-
called me Jacki Daniels, JD, J Dizzler, whatever. That's been my nickname forever.
Jay
When I
Dilla.
joined, and when I joined the Alan Turner band, I was on Facebook and I had my legal name at the time, and I was getting a lot of, and I still do get a lot of, creeps.
Yeah.
You're in the public eye, you're in a state. A lot of people friend requesting me that I wasn't sure if it was like a safe situation, so. Alan was like, do you want to use your regular name or do you want to use a stage name? And I was like, well, Jacki Daniels is so country anyway. Let's just go with that. And so that's just been
It works.
it works. It works well.
It works. I like it.
Now people in Nashville will tell you that I got to change my name, but I am not doing that. Just because, there's maybe other people that are like, I'm Jim Beam or I'm like, whatever. But I'm like, no, I'm not changing my name. That's my name. That's my nickname. That's my stage name. And it works for country, I think.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I'm a whiskey girl, so.
So what else can I ask you? I don't have my teleprompter. So I'm what would you say to anybody that wants to be a singer or songwriter like yourself?
Oh. That wants to be a singer-songwriter?
Just a nice holiday.
Yeah, I think if you have a love for music and an interest in music, there's a lot of people I know right now that they are nervous to go for it. Just go for it. I have so many videos that I recorded of myself that I cannot even stand to listen to now. Just put it out there because you never know what could happen. So if you have art in your heart and you have that creativity and you have music, just put it out there. The first single I ever released, Yellow Roses, I hated the song when I wrote it. I wrote it for me. I was going through a hard time. I was like, I hated it, right? But I recorded it and I put it on Facebook and a lot of people liked it. So it turned out to be the first song I put out. Well, fast forward a year later, someone put it in a Hallmark Christmas movie. So it's like
that's a great
you
story.
never know what's gonna happen. You never know who's gonna like what you're creating, and don't worry about it if people don't like it, because a lot of people I'm sure hate my music. I don't think it's for everyone, but that's fine.
Well, that goes back to what you asked me earlier. So, why do I want to do it? Because I do believe that there's a lot of people that may not like anybody's music.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes American One, Taylor Swift, or whoever.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that might, that enough where it could change your life in a lot of ways. And I think that's what I'm trying to surgically do is find people. I came up with the term microstars in my not super. And I go, what if you just like a lot of people I've met here, Killer Flamingos. I mean, they're a big deal in Detroit.
Yeah, Killer Flamingos. They had my guitar stand for like a year and a half.
Right, but they're a big deal.
Yeah, they're good.
And I was just hanging out with Darren. They were sitting over there a couple weeks ago, and in Nashville, they don't even know who they are. And right, because there's so many big bands, and I got a little itch of it. I apologize. But anyway, I think that's what it's really all about. We're aiming for the moon, but we should just have a piece of it. And I think that would be immeasurable because, like you said, you want everybody to really dial in on your stuff. And I really like a lot of your music. I really do. I was really going to, in fact, when we leave, I'm going to play another song. I got to go and set it up here somewhere while we're doing this. But it's like, let me see, which one can I play? This Girl or Is This Now?
This Girl was the other song that Greg Stryker wrote that we recorded in Nashville, so you might want to share that.
Okay.
It's also on my latest EP that I just put out.
Okay, real quick, that's a good one. So your EP, where's that at? What's it available on?
Anywhere you listen to music, literally anywhere. You can Google
All
it,
streaming
YouTube,
platforms.
all streaming platforms. It's called This Girl, the EP, and all 5 songs were recorded, written by me. And Greg Stryker wrote a couple songs and recorded at Beard Music Group in Nashville. And I'm really proud of it. It's a picture of me as like a little girl in the front because it was like,
I love that.
This is my like, you know what? I love you, baby girl. I love my inner child. Like this was my kind of like one of the things on my bucket list I wanted to cross off was just to put out an EP.
That was probably my last question. I mean, but I hope I asked. We've been on for over an hour now. So
Yeah.
Is there anything I missed?
No, thank you for having me. I think this is what it's all about is just having those real life connections and being able to answer questions. I think it's so cool. People like questions and stuff. So
And you can ask questions later when we do this, and I'll share you the version, so you'll have it for your hard drive or whatever. It was really cool. I hate to say AIs, but I got this thing that can actually slice and dice and label.
let it do what it can do.
Yeah, and then we can put it. You can put it anywhere. And years from now, you can go, hey, that's one of the things I did. You know what I mean? So I want to, that's the only beauty of it. I may not be the Joe Rogan of podcasts, but I'm going to let you say whatever
Don't ever be the Joe Rogan of podcasts,
who cares?
okay?
Yeah, nobody. By the way, it took him 5 years and he didn't even know what was going to happen. And they said, why are you doing that for all that time for free? And he goes, oh, I like doing it.
Podcast?
Yeah, he liked doing it. And so he opened a comedy show because he does stand-up.
Yeah.
He says, any of you guys?
He's a funny guy.
He is. Oh, I love him. And he says, any of you guys heard of my podcast? Because my friends think I'm wasting my time for the last 5 years. And everyone went nuts. And from that moment on, everything changed.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
So, yeah, my mission isn't to be that. But it's just, I love hearing the stories of a songwriter. And when you're collaborating, you don't get that. You're like working on, okay, no, change that word. Maybe we got an interval. Maybe we got an E minor instead. No, it's a happy song. Go to a major. You know what I mean? And you're never getting what's in somebody's heart and mind. And I really, that's another reason that motivated me. And it was almost by accident. So I like doing it, and I hope it transcends into something for you, Jacki Daniels. She's performing tonight here. If you get a chance, come out to Monjan Wow, 1515 Stevenson Highway. And it's in Troy, just north of Detroit, off a major highway, I-75. That's the one I think Journey was talking about. It goes all the way to Florida. And I think it's just an amazing thing. Her young life has went through all these changes from, this little girl that had these dreams, doing Kenny Rogers tributes, to writing her own music, working with Greg Stryker, Detroit legend. You got a lot going on there. You got a lot going on.
Thank you.
And by the way, I think isn't Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood older than you? They gotta be.
Aren't they what?
They're older than you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't pay that much attention.
Yeah, I think they're older than you. So you're young,
I
girl.
don't know.
They're just in their prime right now. They're in
Ooh,
their prime.
maybe there's still maybe I can.
Yeah.
You know what would be so cool? Would be like a bucket list thing. Would be to play like a stadium.
Which one?
I don't know. Any stadium?
Okay, Nashville. Would you play the Ryman, the Bridgestone,
I
the
don't
Bluebird?
The Bluebird is not a stadium.
I know that it's royalty there.
I can play at the Bluebird. Just give me a couple years. We can play there. But I'm talking about like a stadium.
Mark Allen Burnett, if you're on there, or the other,
Are you talking about Mark Allen right now?
you know,
He's the first person I'm going to interview for my podcast.
I interviewed him already. He's the last interview
Oh,
I did in
you
Nashville.
did?
Oh yeah, he's on my.
Okay, so all the stuff I'm telling you about Nashville, it like came from him. Like he knows a lot.
Yeah, do you know his quote? He's got a quote. Gee, no, I forgot. But yeah, no, I interviewed him over at the
He's
Reba
funny.
McEntire's place.
He's funny. He's a great source of information.
Oh, yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
been like very helpful.
He's been doing it for over 40 years.
I know.
Yeah, he's great. See how that worked? I love it. So did I do okay?
You did great.
Okay, I think you did amazing. What else do you want? What else do you want to tell anybody? Anything? We're good? Go to Jacki.
I'm good. Come to Manjinlau in Troy if you're in Michigan in the area. I'm going to start in about an hour.
All right, yeah, exactly an hour. All right. Well, anyway, we're working on the table. That's how we set it up here. It's the first time I've ever done it in one of my favorite restaurants in the world, actually.
Cool.
In fact, when I'm in Nashville, this is the only thing I'm homesick for. Really. Have you tried this sushi?
Yeah.
You like sushi?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. In fact, ask Terry to have him make you some. That's how we do it here. I didn't even order. I just tell him, do something. Okay. Well, we're gonna let you guys go. Enjoy your night. I know it's a real busy night. People getting home from work, traffic, blah blah blah. So this is a weird time for us to do it during rush hour. But she's got to work. She's got to do a show tonight. So Manjinlau, blah blah blah. Okay, and then the Jacki Daniels show. Go on her website, buy her stuff, support her, tell your friends, tell everybody. And she's gonna be here tonight, signing autographs, taking selfies, doing all the above. Right, girl?
Yes.
Very lovely. You got a nice complexion and everything. She's worth the wait. Okay, that's it. And I want to wish everybody a nice holiday out there tomorrow. Go Lions. They're playing, right?
Yeah.
And get all your Black Friday deals online because it's the same thing probably. But in the meantime, support music, support local musicians, these artists. If you go on her Spotify, send her a buck or two. Man, that's how it works. You get 1 million people to do that. I get 10%. All right, we're gonna do another shot, maybe.
All right.
And then that's it. All right, thank you guys. It's been the first one all summer long, and it was really worth the wait to do Jacki Daniels here on this Nash Talk program tonight, and spread it out there. And I love all you guys. And don't forget, No Kid Hungry at my son's favorite charity. Give to somebody out there, and if you don't give to that charity, give to your favorite charity at least $1. If somebody on the streets, give. It's that time, right? Be thankful, but also give back. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Jacki. Honest to God.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Such a beautiful girl. And I can't wait to see her play. All right. Have a great night. And I'm going to send you out with this song. And This Girl. This is the song right here. Good night.
Mama always told